Good afternoon, and thank you for coming out today, and thank you for all the work that you've done over the last few days in helping us to disseminate information to our public to keep them informed about the challenges we face with snow and the emergency challenges and the removal thereof here in Montgomery County. Let me start off by thanking our hard-working men and women who are engaged actively in resolving the real challenges that we face. They've done a tremendous job. And if you look around Montgomery County and you compare it to other places around the region, you see the difference in terms of our ability to remove snow. We are aggressively working now in our neighborhood communities. And our goal and my pledge to the Montgomery County residents is that by tomorrow morning, that is Wednesday morning, we would have made a path, a route through every neighborhood in Montgomery County by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. What that means, and our objective is to make sure that every person in the neighborhood, every house, will have a route out of that community. It would not mean curb to curb in all situations, but the trucks would have gone through and plowed a route in every neighborhood in Montgomery County by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And if residents have not received that level of service, we urge them to go to our route map. We urge them to call or go online for 311 to let us know. But our pledge is by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, a truck would have gone through every community and created a path out. We will then go back over the next few days to ensure that we've widened those lanes and to get the kind of overall cleanup that we expect for the community. But by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, every community in Montgomery County, every neighborhood would receive the path out. We continue to urge people, if you're not essential, not to go out and not to get engaged in the traffic, because many roads still have reduced lanes. Sight distances can create problems for our motorists, and there are continued safety challenges as well. We will go from neighborhood to neighborhood trying to make certain that we've achieved this objective. And I will be going with our crews a little later on today to make certain that we get that level of compliance. With that, I'm going to ask Al Roshdieh to come over to give a few remarks. But with that, we're going to go forward a few minutes. Al?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. First and foremost, I want to thank men and women in highway services who've been working smart, hard, around the clock since last Thursday, pre-treating and dealing with this snow. Trust me, they haven't been home to clear their driveways or get a good night's sleep since this storm started. And they have done a tremendous job. I couldn't thank him more. Mr. Leggett will precisely explain the situation that we have right now. And by tomorrow morning, which is not our typical way of showing on our snow map that we are complete, but we will do it with the language that this is complete for one pass. So residents can go online and let us know if we have missed their street or there is a problem. We will continue with our process until every road is clear and complete. With that, Richard Dorsey, our Chief of Highway Division, is going to say a few words about his operation.
Thank you very much. I just asked the residents and the commuters through Montgomery County just to be patient with us. We're out here working diligently. We have upwards of 800 pieces of equipment and employees and contractors out on the road. They're working hard. They need your patience. And we just ask you to just be careful out there. Safety is important. Pedestrian challenges are with these snow banks, lane challenges with the reduced lanes because of snow banking. So just be careful, everyone, and allow us the opportunity to get the streets passable.
Are there any questions before we depart in a minute?
What's been the biggest problem?
I think the biggest problem is the massive amount of snow. You have a county that covers over 500 square miles, 5,000 lane roads to clear. The weight of the snow, having to haul snow in many places as opposed to simply pushing it aside. having large numbers of people who are maybe out walking the streets creating some challenges. But overall, I think that we've responded very well, and I'm very proud of our men and women who've engaged in this effort thus far.
People are waiting to find out if the federal government will open tomorrow, and of course if schools will open tomorrow. If it was your call, what would you suggest? Are the roads ready for the federal government?
I can't speak for the entire region because the entire region is affected by this, and there's a call. I think that we are going to be well on our way in Montgomery County because we are creating a path, but a lot of other factors go into this consideration. The availability of Metro in many areas, the parking garages, the safety around the schools, all of those factors need to be assessed, and we will look at that a little bit later on today.
Mr. Leggett.
Okay, thanks. Two questions. First, this snow apocalypse is taken away from county business. What should have the county been focusing on this week if it wasn't for the snow? And second, I need the name and title of the second speaker. We'll give that to you after.
Yeah. What was the first question on the business impact?
What county business should have taken place this week that wasn't because of the snow?
Well, there are a large number of things that we have county operations, and I can't go through the entire list, but everything from town hall meetings to forums to you name it have been canceled or, and of course you know about the schools. All of those things have been either canceled or eliminated. We'll be rescheduled for a little bit later on.
Mr. Leggett, a whole lot of neighbors expressing a lot of frustration about this map. They say all over the county it says in progress. And they're like, what the heck does in progress mean? We want a plow, we haven't seen one yet.
Well, we've seen a lot of plows in Montgomery County, and if you look at Montgomery County, we have more plows that are out there, and our neighborhoods are probably far along much more than many other residents throughout the region. So we've made a lot of progress, but what progress simply means is that we are working on it, and maybe we should have had that language changed. And what we're doing now is to say to people, if you have not received a plow through your community by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, give us a call, and we will have that done.
Are you satisfied with the way the map is working?
Well, we could have made it a little bit clearer and make sure that people fully understand that in progress, people assume that they're going to see the truck out as opposed to knowing that we are going to get to it. And so a little bit clearer between that. But I think the real problem is not the map. The real problem is the massive amount of snow, and people are frustrated assuming that we could have gotten to it earlier. And we have gotten to it much sooner than many others, but we still have a ways to go. We don't have the final cost to it, but I'm telling you it's going to be an awful lot based on our past record. I'm not sure the number of outside contracts you want to emphasize.
Over 600.
Over 600, yeah.
How many of your own?
200 county employees.
And over 600 contractors.
How many plows and salt trucks are still out in the street today?
The latest number I saw was 870 pieces of equipment are engaged with this operation. Of course, there are trucks that were delivering salt today from our other sites. There are trucks, loaders in business districts or neighborhood. We usually use a smaller piece of equipment in neighborhood street because we cannot put a very large equipment. So there is in terms of the total number of pieces of equipment, 870 as of this morning. And there are different type of equipment.
When we met last week, it was 500, so that's
that is
now
correct.
up to 870.
Well, we did indicate, if you remember, prior to the storm, we said we are starting with 500, assessing, and then once we get after the storm, we're going to ramp up, and we did. And we actually, today, this morning, the report to me was 870 pieces.
On the street today.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Leggett, you said you thought the response has gone well so far. Could you further assess that? Are you ahead of your goals? Are you meeting your goals? Where do you think you're at?
Well, my other goal would have had everybody out yesterday, if not sooner, 24 hours after the storm. But given the magnitude of the storm, under the circumstances and conditions, I think that the county has done very well. This is not to say that it's perfect. There's some things we did not learn and could not do differently. But overall, if you look at the response of Montgomery County and you think about this massive operation where we've had in this county nearly 40 inches of snow in some places, where we have to respond to urban areas, the suburban areas, and the rural areas as well, that's a lot of snow to move. And look at where we are today, that I'm standing here telling you that we will have gone through every residential community tomorrow by 7 a.m. and we would have addressed most of our urban areas, if not all of it as well.
Can you address the economic impact? I mean, both in economic losses, but also, you know, the economy's dynamic. These guys, the crews, they'll make extra money, right? I mean, there's...
Oh, yes, they'll offer. Well, last year we paid over $30 million in snow and emergency costs for Montgomery County last year. We do not have a final figure thus far because we still have several more weeks of winter to go, so I do not want to speculate in terms of the cost, but I know it will be pretty high.
At Bethesda Elementary School, the parking lot is filled with all types of equipment, loaders and bobcats. Is that county equipment? And as of noon today, it was just sitting idle.
Well, there may be some equipment dealt by the school system because they're trying to clear those lots as well. In some cases, we help and assist, but overall, the schools are responsible for those lots.
So the equipment at Bethesda...
I have not seen it, but my assumption would be that that's probably what it is.
Al, do you know? Is it state equipment? Is it county equipment?
Those are some of our contractors. Those are the guys that were working in the Bethesda business district, and they were loading and hauling out snow. Those equipments are now being pushed out into our communities to help with clearing these neighborhood streets. Right now, it's probably, you're seeing it because there's a operator shift. So the new operators are coming in to pick up that equipment and get back on the road.
Can you describe a snow hauling operation in the CBDs? I mean, I think that you don't do this often. And where's the snow go?
We have 5 sites throughout the county that we haul the snow that we collect in the business districts, and we take it there to dispose of it. County facilities.
And how often have you guys actually had to go in and remove snow?
Usually when we get upwards of 18 or 20 inches of snow, we have to activate the hauling operation just to restore the business districts.
Is there anything left for the county to do besides clearing snow?
Well, that's the biggest job, and we're concentrating on that right now. I'm sure there will be some lingering challenges to have down the line, but right now we're concentrating on getting the snow removed and getting all of our neighborhoods free.
Bruce had mentioned concerns about the interactive website showing the map of the county. We also had received some emails drawing attention to 311 and long waits. How many people are currently answering phones, manning that center?
I don't have the number, but there's quite a few people working 24/7. We have that fully operated today. And keep in mind, this system was built, we brought it in some years ago, and we built it for emergencies, but I don't think that anyone could anticipate it having 20,000 calls in one day and somewhere like 2,000 or 3,000 in 1 hour. The system was just simply for a matter of purposes. To be honest with you, overloaded with the number of calls.
Ballpark, are we talking like a dozen people?
Oh, no. It's the system, I think, overall about 60 or 70 people in an operation. Answering phone calls, yeah.
So given everything you've just laid out, the fact remains, all of our newsrooms are hearing from a lot of ticked off people. Are they in error to feel that way, or do you get why they feel that way?
Well, I get why they feel that way. Keep in mind, if we went out today and did 90% of the operations in Montgomery County and 95% of every neighborhood, there's still an awful lot left in Montgomery County. You're dealing well over 1 million people. Remember some years ago, one county executive stood up and complained, we've done a great job. We've done 85% of Montgomery County in 24 hours. What he didn't realize at the point in time that other 15% had an avalanche of calls that came in. That's a lot of people in Montgomery County. That's like 150,000 people. So you can do a very good job, and you're still going to get complaints because there's always going to be someone first, there's always going to be someone last. And if you're last, you're going to complain.
I also remember another county executive in 2012 that had a lot to say about Pepco during the duration. And he said that the job then wasn't good enough. Do you feel this job has been good enough?
I think under the circumstances, I think that we've done a very good job. Keep in mind, 40 inches of snow in the county, 5,000 lane miles, having to haul in urban areas all of this snow, and I'm standing before you and saying we would have made a pass in every neighborhood by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. How many jurisdictions are able to stand there and make that claim?
Power, does it seem to you that Pepco did a good thing cutting down all those trees because now everybody, we didn't lose a lot of power?
Well, I think that may have helped, but there are other factors as well, the level of the snow, the amount of wind. They were pre-positioned, and I'm very delighted to see that they were very proactive in this situation, and we did not have as many power outages. Otherwise, that would have been one of the other things we've been talking about, not so much the snow, but the people who are discomforted because of power outages.
The county applying for any federal aid?
CBS News did a comparison between D.C. and New York today and talked about how quickly New York got cleared compared to D.C. not getting it as cleared as quickly. And I kind of ran a poll on Twitter where I said, are you willing to pay more to staff up snow operations to the level of northern cities to get things cleared more quickly? Is there always kind of a cost-benefit of analysis? And should people not expect that a 50-year or 100-year storm is going to get cleared immediately?
Well, let me see. I saw both CBS and ABC, and on ABC last night, they talked about those people outside of Manhattan in New York who were still suffering as a result of snow and still complaining, more so than you see here. Secondly, they have more snow traditionally up there than we have, and I think it would be irresponsible for me to build up to a height of having to have in our budget anticipation of 40 inches of snow. People will run me out of here saying that you're spending too much money in anticipation of something that would not occur.
I assume you took a break from watching NBC to watch those others, but let me ask you,
to watch Fox.
let me just ask you this, because they go through, it's not your responsibility for the numbered roads, that's the state. But because they go through Montgomery County, people in Montgomery County are going to have to drive them to get to work if the federal government. What do you think of the job the state has done when you have 2.5 lanes and then all of a sudden it reduces to 2, or on River Road maybe even 1?
I know the state is challenged, but I could tell you that the state probably has not done the kind of job that Montgomery County has done in its roads. But they have a very large segment of the entire state to deal with it. So I'm going to give them a little bit of slack as a result of that. But I could tell you also that generally maybe 70% of the calls that I received about snow removal and challenges are not on county roads. If it's a road in Montgomery County, they're going to call me, regardless of where that road may be. It could be a HOA, it could be a county road, it could be a school parking lot, or it could be a state road. They look, name Ike Leggett in the county, they're going to call.
What parts of the county were hardest hit with snow, roughly speaking?
The reports that I got is on the western and northwest part of the county. Actually, the National Weather Service data showed that in North Potomac, it was 38.5 inch, which actually was third on the list of the highest amount of snow that the East Coast got. So we were hit hard. The lightest part, I think, was probably Silver Spring area. And but it's still too much. And I want to say this, that I have been involved with the snow operation for Montgomery County for the past 15 years. I operated the Snowmageddon. This is by far, and I've been living in this community for 40 years. This is by far more snow than in one event than I have ever remembered in this community. And I think the National Weather Service supports that. So we are working very, very hard. I know that some people are not happy with what they haven't been able to get out. But keep in mind, we have a timeline for a snow operation. And for a 24-inch, we say 60 hours after the snow stops. This is not 24-inch, this is almost 40 inches. And we are in day 3 of the operation, and I'm glad that we can at least have one pass into every neighborhood street by tomorrow morning.
Can you describe the conditions that your employees or snowplow drivers are under and how tired they must be and their hours?
You take care of this.
Yes, the hours are long, and they're fatigued, and they want to go home to their families, but they're doing a diligent job to get these streets opened up for us the county, us the residents in this county, and it's a challenge. But our drivers are doing the best that they can do under these conditions.
All right, that's about it. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. If there's any calls or 311, please go online to contact us. But our pledge is to have every neighborhood, at least with one plow through every neighborhood in Montgomery County by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you've not received that, let us know immediately. That's the pledge that we plan to keep. Thank you very much.